Hi, this is Karima from Hijabi Globetrotter, and today we're going to talk about Ramadan 2020. So, of course, I've talked about this on my social media a lot and even wrote an article for the Lonely Planet about how Ramadan this year is going to be different. How is Ramadan going to be different this year? Let me tell you. Iftar is one of the fun parts of Ramadan. Normal iftar, we usually gather around with friends and family, go to the mosque and break our fast together. It's a really beautiful moment. But iftar this year kind of looks something like this. For some people like me that I don't live with my family right now, iftar can be lonely. So I'll eat my iftar by myself, break my fast by myself, and it's just not the same. Like last year, I will go to the mosque, I'll go to ICNYU and break fast with my friends and with the community, or I'll go home and break fast with my family. But this year, most of the time I break fast by myself, which I wouldn't say it's sad, but sometimes it can be lonely, I have to say. Iftar is a time where Muslims kind of break their fast after not eating for a long time. So usually we start our Ramadan with suhoor. That means that we'll wake up as early in the morning. Really depends on what dawn is. So we have to wake up before dawn and eat so we can sustain ourselves for the days, for the hours that we're not gonna fast. And the hours of fasting actually varies according to location. So here in the US, the average time I think for fasting is 16 hours. So usually we'll kind of start fasting once dawn comes, like the sun is rising, and that is usually around, right now it's actually 5:52, but we have to do that before our morning prayer, which is at 4:26 right now. It's so funny, when you're fasting, you know the exact time that prayer is. When I'm not fasting, someone asks me, Karima, when is Maghrib? I'm like, I don't know. But now if you ask me when is Maghrib, I will say it's 8:52 or 8:50 yesterday. So I know the exact time that I have to break my fast. In other countries, it could be 21 hours, it could be 23 hours if you live up north, like maybe Norway or St. Petersburg. It really depends on the time, the location you are, and many other factors. We usually break our fast with dates, and it is sunnah, which means that it's a practice by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Muslims across the world, whatever culture you are, break your fast with dates. And what my family does is that after we eat dates, we kind of like cut fruit and make a fruit salad, or you can add yogurt to it if you like. And then after that, my family, we eat pudding. I know in other cultures they eat soup that kind of goes along with the fruits. So these practices come from our religion, like it's been commanded in the Quran, like how on the Hadith and how on Quran and Hadith and how we should practice. So it's happened, like we've been doing it for thousands of years, and like the tradition continues. What is Taraweeh? Taraweeh is basically that special prayer that Muslims do during Ramadan. So how it's going to be different this year is that since we cannot come together, go to the mosque together, usually we have to do it by ourselves. For some people, they don't do Taraweeh. I don't know, my family has been doing it, so it's something I picked up as well. I try my best. I wouldn't say I do it all the time. When I have strength and I am able, I usually do it, and I do my best to do it, try my best to do it. And now that many imams are actually doing sermons virtually and even prayers virtually, some people might be doing it virtually. So maybe they're following the imams virtually and praying. So this is how Taraweeh is going to be different this year. The beauty of Ramadan is about sharing and caring for others, and that doesn't stop actually. Even though I say it's gonna change, I put this under the change category, but really it's not gonna change, because even though we have to social distance, we still try to find ways to drop food to our neighbors, or donate to people that don't have. Actually, New York has been doing a great job in that. The team behind the Bellagio has been doing a great job. They actually donated like 500 halal meals to Muslims that can't afford iftar. So yeah, that doesn't stop. The only difference is that we can't physically connect with the people or stay with the people to share the meals and all of that, but sharing still happens, even though it's different. Actually, one of my friends, I'll say shout out to Shravani and Greg, awesome people. They actually stopped by. I did not expect this. They stopped by my apartment and dropped some iftar food for me. That's the beauty of Ramadan. So it didn't change, the sharing aspect didn't change. Just like I said, what changed is just the contact and like us not being able to spend time together with the people we care about and love as well. So the biggest challenge I have to say while fasting, while doing Ramadan, is commuting to work and fasting. When I lived in the Midwest, it was still hard because even though like I had to drive to places, when Ramadan happened in summer, like your throat is dry, like it is right now as I'm doing this video. God help me. Going to work and having to communicate with people, and just the energy of thinking and talking and commuting was very difficult. But right now, Ramadan 2020 means that many of us, some of us, not many, some of us get to work from home and we don't have to commute. Actually, New York was very hard. Like the first time I came to New York, which was last year, Ramadan happened like just in between spring and kind of crossed over to summer. And during the summer period, it was very hard because New York Metro is super hot. You have to climb through and walk through that sauna, the subway. No adequate amount of elevators that are aerated or air conditioned. Yeah, Ramadan in summer in New York is a lot challenging, I must say. But now that we are quarantined at home and some of us working at home, I just kind of wake up and go to work by walking from my bed to my laptop station. So after Sahur, which is the time we usually start eating, and then we stop like during like the time for prayer and then start fasting, many people like me will go to sleep for like a long time. Like sleep at 5 o'clock or 5:30, because some people do zikr. I do sometimes do zikr, that is, and then we go to sleep for like a long time. So I will sleep till 12 o'clock, especially during the weekend when we're not working. But when we're working, we sleep and then we wake up to we will sleep and then we wake up to get ready for work. But now I can sleep a lot for longer hours because my workstation is just like 5 seconds to my bed, so I can just walk from bed to my workstation. So that's Ramadan 2020. Oh my gosh, WhatsApp messages. WhatsApp is personally driving me crazy. I mean, on a regular, I already get so many WhatsApp messages from different groups, which it's good, and sometimes it's like, so much messages. But during Ramadan this year, it's even hyped because now people are inviting you to so many things, not even just within your city, even in another country. I literally got an invitation somewhere to Indonesia for like a spiritual meeting for Ramadan. And like, oh sister, can you come to our meeting? I'm just like, I live in New York, how are we gonna do the whole time difference? But like people are like, but what are you doing? What am I doing? Really, what am I doing? I can't even give an excuse like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm going out, I'm busy. I can't do that because we're all at home. Most of us are at home. So I'm like, we'll see. So yeah, and I not only that, I also get like bombarded with my messages from my mom. Like she's like, Karima, you should recite this surah. Oh, have you seen this? MashaAllah, this, that. And I'm just like, okay, what's up? We need to take a break. So like, you know, even like with this quarantine situation, I feel like our whole eyes are just used to seeing the screen, from work screen to bombarding messages from WhatsApp to social media, and then I also create content, so I have to see things online. So sometimes I need to give my eyes a break because it can get overwhelming. So I had to shut down WhatsApp at one point because it got a lot. The things are not going to change actually more. For example, the dhikr, adhkars, and prayers, that doesn't change whether it's quarantine or not. That is something that, even though I did say that Ramadan is very social, it's very communal, it's about the communities, the actual bigger parts about the connection with God. So for us Muslims, we don't believe that you need an intermediary to talk to God. So we believe that you can talk to God directly, and that does not change whether we're in this quarantine situation or if it was a regular time. So yeah, many Muslims try to set time to like have their personal moment to talk to God and ask for anything, and this is usually a time where we can get more blessings to do that. So that doesn't change this Ramadan. This time of the year, Muslims always make goals to either recite the whole Quran, during this 30 days, or memorize the 99 names of Allah, or be more religious. Like whatever it is, everyone has their personal goal, and this year I try to not be too ambiguous, and because whenever I personally go over the top, I never achieve it. So I try to even have little steps, like maybe it could be as little as try to read the Quran every day, or try to read the Quran at least this weekend or something, so that I can actually achieve something. So everyone has their own individual stuff, and that doesn't change during this quarantine. Actually, I want to tell you something. So one of the goals of mine has been always to memorize the 99 names of God. So in Islam, God, we call him Allah, but he actually has 99 names, and it is said that if you know 99 names of Allah, of God, by heart, you are guaranteed paradise. So a lot of Muslims strive to do that, and I've worked on that. But sometimes I'm good at memorization, but sometimes it just doesn't stick, and I always go Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, Al-Salam, Al-Mutakabbir, Al-Khaliq, Al-Bari, Al-Musawwir, Al-Qahar. Is it Al-Qahar? What helps me actually is singing it by, there's this nasheed, they call it Asma al-Husna, which is singing it, because when you sing something, it's easy for you to memorize it. So I try to do that. So for me, my own personal goal is, so when we fast in Ramadan, we try to be cleansed internally and externally, and one part of that cleansing is kind of protecting our eyes from obscene things. So that's why some Muslims don't watch certain things during Ramadan, or don't do certain things, or it's kind of like a reset of your habits. And part of it also includes listening to music, because if we're listening to other mainstream music, there could be swear words or some words that might not be clean. And so to kind of purify ourselves during this holy month, if you want to listen to something, some people can stick to nasheeds. And when I was a kid, my parents will always play nasheeds from Zain Bikhad, Islam, Native Deen. Maher Zain actually became recent. So yeah, it resorts to nasheeds, which are Islamic songs from whatever language you speak, and it could be Bahasa, Hausa, Yoruba, Arabic, Turkish. Shines for Shams, the shining sun, which Allah brings for everyone. That is for Tariq, the path we'll walk upon. But the idea of nasheed is basically singing songs that kind of praise God and the Prophet, and also it's also a way of thanking God, more like a halal version of the song. And last but not least, one of the biggest things I would not change regardless of this year, last year, or all throughout time is praying for the world. And this time praying is even more important than ever. Every day pray for this country, my country, the US, Nigeria, and other countries around the world that are going through a lot of strife, and that's not gonna change. And I think like our prayers are even like more dire, and we have to be even stronger on that because of this COVID-19. I just pray that people that are sick become healed. People that are struggling right now. There are just so many people that they might be smiling, but they're going through a lot of challenges, even me included. But just try to brave it. And there are people that actually don't have food, don't even know how to pay for rent, don't have a job, and I'm even praying for this country as well to have better leadership, and all of these things. So that doesn't change, because prayer, you can do it in whatever state you are, as long as you can utter a word. So I do pray for you that are watching this video. I thank you for watching this video, first of all, listening to me ramble. But I pray for you to have greater things in this life and in the hereafter, and for your success and great opportunities, and that by the grace of God we can get out of this situation to be as better people and more endowed the upcoming year. I hope that after 2020, or even by the end of towards the end of 2020, our futures are brighter, there are better opportunities, people are more conscious environmentally, companies are more empathetic. I pray for a better world. So yeah, I do pray. I pray for you, I pray for the world, I pray for everyone, I pray for your families, I pray for my family, and stay blessed. Ramadan Mubarak.